Hello, everyone. Uh, Great to see you again. Um, so this one video I would like to put here because one of the member in the YouTube channel asked about how to write Groovy script. So I think I never actually talk very technically on this channel because my plan is to uh, look at the functional side first and then move on to the technical part. But since the ask is there, I would like to just go through Groovy script and also talk about one example how you can implement it. So very quickly, we just go through the overview, different types of script step type, and also one example at the end. Okay, overview. Okay, so Groovy actually was introduced during, I think, been there for a few years now. The reason for Groovy is because before Groovy, we either have JavaScript, Java code, or the scripting language. Scripting language is more favored than Java because you can actually deploy it without taking down the server. But for Java deployments, normally you just have to taking down the server. Although, to be honest, in most of the projects, when you are doing a release to production system, um, the server is normally taken down. Um, but then Groovy comes in because it's very similar to Java and it is easy to be written. And also it has the same feature as the script, which doesn't require downtime. So that becomes more popular these days within a project. Um, so basically, you can write, say, you can categorize into two types of um, script. One is you can write it as a library script, which is like common routine. If you want to build shared functions between your Groovy script, or you can write your Groovy script just to implement the logic, and that could be script on its own, purely written in Groovy, or it can be embedded into existing script language. Okay, so yeah, so there's three types of steps when you are trying to implement in the script. So first one is the Groovy import. Similar to Java, you need to import the classes which you want to use. And then the Groovy member, it contains this Groovy script language and can be invoked by the existing scripting language, which you would just run a command called invoke Groovy. Normally, in these cases, the Groovy needs to be not having any arguments and return void type. So to make that happen. Um, and the last one is the Groovy library interface, as we mentioned, to create it as a common routine. Okay, so the ask was how we can write a Groovy script based on the file uploads for batch control. So now for batch control, the batch control itself has to be implemented in Java. Okay, so at the moment, I don't think there is any options to write in Groovy. However, you can plug in the system event of the batch job, and there are quite a few um, system events, um, but one of them is file upload, which means you can, before the batch is running, you can upload the file, and then the batch would processing the record being uploaded. So in this case, in this case, you need to create a batch control. You need to create an algorithm based on algorithm type. The algorithm must be plugged into the batch control file upload system event, and the algorithm type and the algorithm entity must be batch control file upload to match the batch control system event. And then you need to write a script, okay, um, to be called when this algorithm is run. So plug that into the algorithm type. Now I've written a sample code down here. So we just have simply step one is do an import. If you look at the system, when there is a library at the back end. So when you go to script on the dashboard, there should be a tip to show you how the Groovy library look like. It's quite big actually. So you need to understand, which function you can call and which class to use. So in this one, I'm assuming the file is delimited files as a CSV. And I would actually use these two classes from the library. And actually, in the same library, you would have other formats like XML if you want. And then the second step is just a Groovy member where you define the public method invoke. And that's it. This is similar to Java. It's a common entry point for all the plugin algorithms. And then over here, you can just start to read the file, read the records, looping through the records, and then process your records in the way you want. So that's pretty straightforward. I think the key of Groovy is you would need to understand how the library works, what function you can use. Otherwise, it will be a bit difficult for you. Okay, so that's all. It's a quick one. And any questions, let me know. Thank you. Bye.